have a fun little story. So last night I was out at one of the local places here in Rosemont, and I was at a table, and right in front of me was Dante Bosco with a giant group of people. I saw you last night. I didn't want to bother you, but it was pretty cool. And
That's why you didn't want to hang out with us, Dante? You were with a giant group of people?
I think it was friends, family. I'm not sure.
No, I was just having a drink at that bar.
Were you?
With one cousin.
You know what's crazy? So, we had one cousin there, and there was this private party that was going on. I think it was somebody's birthday, maybe.
They all had lays around their neck and stuff.
Yes.
I didn't know those people.
I didn't know that. I figured. They knew you. The reason I bring this up, though, is because one person noticed you, and I saw their eyes light up, and they totally geeked out. And then it seemed as if every single person at that bar, not just every single person associated with that party, but every staff member too was so excited to see you. And to this man's credit, he took pictures with everybody. He made everybody seem like they were his best friend. But the reason I asked this story, or tell this story, is because I wanted to ask everybody on the panel, is there a time where you've had a fan interaction that's uplifted you in your day? Because you made that dude feel like a king for his birthday. So, is there a time where you've met a fan that is
They would have known the king in the owl house.
Whether you were going through something on your own?
I mean, these conventions are so much of that, where you hear people talk about how they connected to the show, a moment in their life that the show helped them through, a moment in their life that the character helped them through, a person they're connected to, that relationship was strengthened or deepened by the show, or started by the show. All of that just makes me feel very humbled and honored to have been part of something like this.
I love hearing about what this show has inspired people to go and do with their lives. People become social workers and public defenders and all, you name your noble profession. That they attribute the show for inspiring them to do, and it's really great.
Yeah, I feel like all the best interactions I've had with fans have been at like events like this. It's so cool that everybody it's such a good concentrated energy. Like you would think that getting a whole bunch of people together in one place, there's gonna be some like bad eggs, and there just aren't. Like I feel like everyone is like genuinely happy to be here and be together, and I feel like it's a really like inspiring thing. I remember one time I met someone here who was an army vet, and he was like, he's like, I can't even believe I'm saying this, and he was like, but I used to get made fun of all the time, and he was like, but when I was on tour in Iraq, he's like, we used to trade our like hard drives with different like movies and TV on it so that we could watch what was on there. And he was like, and one of the guys had Tinkerbell movies on his hard drive. He's like an old, huge, jacked dude. And he was like, and I became obsessed. He's like, I don't know what it was. He was like, I just would put these Tinkerbell movies on, and it was like the only thing that would take me out of like the horror of all of the stuff that I did all day. And he was like, the guys would make fun of me. They'd be like, don't interrupt him during his Tinkerbell time. He gets all sensitive. And he was like, but like it means so much. And that was like one of the most meaningful things. And so in general it's like, you don't get to usually have like that one-on-one experience with people where they get to like look you in the eye and tell you what it means. So I feel like that's like what these things are so great for,
That's so cute. I love the so obviously, Toph is awesome for many reasons, but anytime I meet somebody who has any sort of visual disability, they're like, obviously Toph is a huge, huge impact. I've met so many incredible humans over the past couple of years since we've been traveling around doing this. There's one that just, for some reason, I don't know why, just like she and her mom just really stuck out to me. But this last February when we were almost there in Florida, I don't remember. But name was Saturn, came up, and she had vision when she was younger and slowly lost it as she got older. So she like has the visuals of Avatar, but now just can't see anything. So she's like, anytime I need to feel like okay about being me, I just like remember what Toph looks like, but like I can't see it anymore. And it's just like, I talked with her mom and talked with her, and I felt so bad because I just didn't have anything to like give her. And now I have Braille prints on my table, which is great. But at the time, I didn't have them yet, and I was just like, I need to like give you something. So I had like this little turtle duck, and I gave it to her. I was like, okay, you can feel this, but you want to remember this day because like you can't see my autograph. So like, what's the point of me giving you this paper?
No.
And it's like she walked away. Her mom was like, thank you so much, and I was just like sobbing at my table. But yeah, just anytime somebody feels like okay being themselves because of Toph, that's always a good day.
I had an interaction very, very similar to May's. Big guy came up to me and said he was deployed to Afghanistan in search and rescue. And he said that everyone in their platoon, I guess, was a big fan of the show, and they had a picture of Uncle Iroh in their barracks. And before they went out on patrol, they would all touch the picture for luck before they went out. And it's like, I was usually, I mean, a lot of people cry with it. This time I was crying too. It's like, yeah, that's a beautiful, I can't believe it, you know, it still resonates like that.
There was this party last night. Several rounds of tequila. And we were all lifted. People had crazy stories. COVID just opened up. Avatar was the #1 show in the world over COVID. I'm at New York Comic Con, like one of my first cons back, and the lines are crazy. And then this one guy, I'm signing his thing, he's like, oh my God, like I grew up with you. I'm like, yeah, man, we all grew up together. He goes, no, you don't understand. He goes, well, I go, like, you don't understand. And like, he stopped me, and he looks me in the eyes, and he goes, you programmed our generation. I said, what? He goes, you guys programmed our generation. Why do you think we're the generation that brought protests back? The Me Too movement, Black Lives Matter. We're trying to get the world back in balance. And the hair on the back of the neck.
Well, that's it, guys. That's it. Thank you, guys.
What a track!
Now, this marks the 20th anniversary of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
And American Dragon Jake Long.
To see the show still inspire new generations decades later. I mean, especially after that attitude.
It's super, super cool. I mean, we always kind of circle back around to Mike and Brian's brilliance because obviously they're the creators of this incredible world that we all get to be a part of. And I think there's just so much detail and care put in that obviously all of us can see and experience, put into each character. The details of each like martial arts style that's like specifically curated, like Toph's is different than everybody else's earthbending. Like there's just so much attention to detail that I think is what makes this so long-lasting and impactful for just any age. Like yes, it's like a family-friendly show, but this is an all-ages show. It's not just a kids show. And every time you watch it, as you get older, you notice things that maybe you didn't notice the last time, and that's just because of Mike and Brian's brain and team. Like it's just so incredible.
Yeah, when we were doing early records, I remember going to like Nay, who I usually recorded with, and going like, these scripts are good. This seems like a really good show.
Talking Zutara.
And so you could start to get the sense of like, oh, we're part of something special, but that doesn't tell you whether or not people are going to find it, people are going to connect with it, it's going to get its audience, it's going to grow and retain and have people continue to discover it over the years. To be part of something special is incredible, but you don't know, if other people will notice, and then they did, and it's cool.
Well, it's also like, especially I feel like with animation, the kind of standard was, networks wanted you to be able to turn on any episode and be able to know what was going on. They wanted it to be easy, and I feel like they didn't really want to invest in a story that was like, you had to kind of follow it from the beginning, that had like a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I feel like, a lot of the times it's just easier for networks to try to like make the easiest, lowest common denominator. And I think there's certain projects that when they don't assume that their audience isn't going to be capable of keeping up or understanding what's going on, or like, being smart and invested in something a little deeper, I feel like something really magical can happen with that when there's like a little bit of trust with the creators going, we think you guys can handle this, so we're gonna like go full blast. And then the audience is like, yeah, we can handle this and we want this. So I feel like there's something that's like kind of like a mutual trust and investment that happens that kind of just elevates it and elevates the response a little bit more. So I remember this was kind of one of the first cartoon shows that I had seen that it was like, oh, okay, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. It doesn't matter how popular it gets, they're gonna end it at a certain point. You have to kind of know what's going on, So I felt like that was something really special, and I think that actually still propels it today.
Excuse me, how would you define the highest common denominator, like which I'm sure Avatar, Last Airbender itself is?
The highest common denominator, I don't know, what's some like really complicated show that I don't get? Like, what's like West Wing or something? I mean, I don't get it, but I love it, Something like, what's
the OA? The OA?
Yeah, the OA, like what's that?
The OA.
What is that? I don't know, some like really like mathematical something. Anything with math, I'm out. But just something like that's, I think in like, not like easy tune out, kind of I'm half asleep watching, versus you kind of have to like be invested and use your brain to watch, That's what I would thing, is using your brain. Which is tiring.
What's crazy is this is like, became a legacy show now that I didn't know at all that this was what we were doing at all. I mean, look, I'm a big fan. Like, we're here, come down. I'm a big fan of everything. I'm a Star Wars fan. I love Harry Potter. Freaking all that stuff is great. I didn't know we were doing one of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing a show, and I'm doing this character, and it's cool. Like, this kind of cool. These are cool characters, but I'm like, whatever. And then I'm at Sundance, and I run into Jason Isaacs, and he's like, you know, we're there promoting some, whatever movie we're doing at the time, and he's like, Dante, we're in the middle of snow, he's like, that cartoon we did. And everyone's talking to me about that cartoon, and he's like, I know, me too. He's like, what did we do? I'm like, I don't know! And then it starts kind of, you know, because there was no internet. There was no, like, not like how it was internet now. And I was doing a movie, and like the other cast members were adults, like, I love that. You're the Zuko, you're the prince of fire, the fire prince. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you're 25. What are you talking about? Why are you watching this kid's show? And then little by little, you start to realize, like, oh, am I in the new Star Wars? I'm like, who am I? Am I so, who the fuck am I? So it was weird to see it organically happen, and then you realize that I'm actually in this show that's becoming one of the things, the legacy shows that you grew up loving and wish to be a part of, and yet you are a part of it.
Yeah, that's what did it for me. As you know,
Your wish came true.
And you know, so I'm 10, 11, 12 years old, and like, it's popular amongst my peers, but it was when like people's parents and adults were starting to come and ask me questions about the show. I'm like, what's going on here? This is Nickelodeon. That's been a really cool thing, and it makes sense all these years later. Yeah.
Before we continue though, I do want to shout out our ASL interpreter, mainly because we're letting everybody enjoy these panels for everybody. Thank you so much. I want to talk about the behind the scenes real quick of making, voicing Avatar The Last Airbender. If there was a blooper track for you guys, who would be featured prominently on said blooper track?
Sorry, if there was a blooper track, what would we find?
Yeah, well, who would be featured the most?
Dante!
So what do you want? I'm just trying to act.
Like, what even, obviously.
This is because I talk fast.
He gets lost.
And I get lost in the words. And I get excited.
He would get so excited. He'd get a little.
I was a new voice actor.
What's happening now?
May is like old veteran at 3. And she would just watch me.
No, she's a veteran voice actress at 9 or 10 because of Johnny Bravo.
But I still do that too. I don't know.
It was
I
beautiful.
need more voice lessons, vocal training.
No, it's passion. We like it. It's raw.
My enunciation is. I went to the Brando School of Acting. I want to say all the words. Mumble. I want to mumble. I want to say some of the words.
Zach, Aang carried so much of the emotional weight as being the youngest of the gang. When you first read the major moments, like facing Ozai, what was your reaction as a young actor reading that stuff?
It was kind of just like, damn, this is crazy. How am I gonna do this? But I had a lot of help. We had an incredible voice director. Her name's Andrea Romano. She's a legend of the industry, and she really was the one who guided all of us. But I would say me especially because I was recording solo. Most of these guys were recording in groups and they could play off of each other. I was on the East Coast doing these things myself, so I really had to lean heavily on her.
The whole time?
The whole time, yeah. I don't think I ever
met at the like season 3 rap party.
Yeah.
The first time
Yeah.
So like any chemistry we have is Andrea Romano like holding in her head how these characters need to play off each other.
That's incredible.
crazy, yeah. I mean, that's just like what I knew. That's like how I worked. Most of the things I worked on were like that, but like I really had to lean heavily on her just to kind of get me
And the Uncle
into
Bully.
this scene. You know what I mean? And there's heavy stuff. He loses his people. He loses Appa. He has to save the world. You know, so really we, especially as kids, and you know, getting to that place, had to rely on those around us. And Andrea, I mean, she's just the best.
That's kind of mind-blowing, simply because there is so much chemistry. I just assumed you were in the room with everybody else. That's crazy. May, Katara had to be both a healer and a warrior. Which side did you personally resonate with and connect with when you were voicing her?
A healer and a warrior.
A healer and a warrior.
I mean,
I mumble too, Don.
sides of the same coin. You can't really have one without the other. I think, again, kind of in line with, the Toph of it all, it was like, it's very special to have a female character who's like complex and, it's a classic trope you run into is like, is she likable? That's like a thing that you're always running into as like a female. It's like, how can we make her more likable? And it's like, it's exhausting. And I think like, it was so nice to not have that be the number one thing. It was like, who is this person? And what multitudes does she contain? And what drives her? And I think like, she's so loyal to the people that she loves and to, right and wrong and justice. And she's like, that runs so deep within her that being able to play that emotional depth. I mean, I think it's like, she kind of in like water, there's this like adaptability, there's this like, but with strength, she kind of represents like how the two sides of all these different coins of like how you kind of have to be able to flow and bend in order to be strong, otherwise you'll break. She kind of represents the strength in vulnerability. You can't really have true strength without vulnerability. And I think she was such a like beautiful depiction of that, and especially her being a kid. And I think it was like really special to kind of watch the growth. Like that's another thing that a lot of studios didn't want to do was like have an arc for characters. I mean, like this was like for me an early show where you got to actually see characters grow and change and be different people. I think there's like a fear of that oftentimes. They want people to be able to tune in and go, I know exactly who this person is, and that's kind of reflects real life too. It's like change is scary and there has to be a certain level of trust there. So I feel like that's another way in which we saw, growth arcs for all of these characters where you really got to watch them kind of change and make mistakes and not be perfect, and that was like really special to me. So yeah, I mean, like she's the coolest. I can't even,
Well, I mean, you touched on something that I thought was really fascinating actually, because this is before the era of like Netflix of everything dropping all at once.
Right.
So this is really a groundbreaking show in that way, where it is carrying a story arc all the way through, especially told in animation. Jack, let me move on to your character, Sokka, because his humor was legendary, but he was also a strategist and a planner.
Yep.
Did you feel more connected to his comedic side or the idea guy, being the idea guy?
The idea guy, I would say. Yeah, I mean, we just got into so much cool, interesting stuff with that, and I geeked out and got excited as he's inventing the submarine and whatnot, learning all these new fighting styles and everything. I thought that was really cool. And the comedy stuff was just like, yeah, great, I'll make some jokes, we'll have fun. The idea guy stuff was very cool.
It's amazing. Greg, the Tales of Ba Sing Se is one of the most emotional episodes in animation history.
Oh, definitely.
What was it like recording that, and how did you feel about how much that still resonates today?
Well, I think that it is probably the most iconic, I think, scene in the entire show. The scene of Uncle Iroh at the grave of Lieutenant, honoring him. And one thing I'm thinking about season, I don't know if you guys have watched the Netflix show, the live action, and I'm thinking about how they should treat that when they get to it, because it is such, people will ask me to sing this song. They still do, they ask me to sing the song. I have never sang the song publicly. I have sang it in the shower, trust me, you don't want to hear me sing it. You're better off listening to Mako sing the song. But I think that's how they should handle it when they get to that point in the series. Rather than having Paul sing the song, or worse, not singing the song at all, I think they should play Mako's version very softly in the background. As a way of honoring him, because that was the show where they actually did give him the in memoriam at the end of it. So yeah, I mean, it is. Watching that show, I've been a fan of Mako Aramatsu since I was 17. But every time I watch that, I hear him sing that song. No one had a voice like that, and no one could put the amount of emotion into that song the way he did it. And to this day, I watch my own episodes, and I will still sometimes say to myself, well, I wonder how Mako would have handled that line. I bet he would have done it differently. As I say of Mako, I can never fill his shoes, but it has been a great honor to try.
Dante, you played Zuko and his grandson, General Iroh, in Korra. would you be open to continuing that family line in future projects like Seven Havens?
The voices of Fire Nation sometimes get passed down to next generations. It may skip a generation, but it might come back.
Thanks for letting us know what is to come. Yes.
Michaela Toph has
Yes, he
some of the
is.
most savage one-liners in the series. Do you have a favorite mic drop moment or a favorite quote?
There's so many. Oh man, there's so many. I do love just kind of their early bonding days. I mean, like the Blind Bandit episode is such a great. There's so much stuff that happens. It's such a good episode. But I do love the episode of the library. That's technically my favorite. And there it is. That's what it'll sound like when one of you spots it. It's just it never gets old. And it's like, oh, this is the kind of company we're gonna have to keep for the rest of this show.
Yeah. Thanks for the Toph cosplay.
That's a good one, and of course, Melon Lord is an iconic moment. That was the one time. Yeah, I feel like that was the one time in the booth where there was some sort of freedom. A lot of people ask us if we ad-libbed it all, and Jack had some cactus juice breakdown moments, here and there. And the Melon Lord line was mine. The Melon Lord was my cactus juice, so I got to have some fun with that part. But everything else, I mean, the one-liners were so good. People were like, did you come up with that? I was like, I wish. that was all the writers, man. They're good.
We do have some pre-submitted fan questions, so I'm going to shoot these off and we're going to see where they go, right? Zutara versus Kataang is still debated to this day.
I don't know. There's no debate.
How do you feel about the passion behind the debate, especially since Kataang ended up with Aang?
Ooh.
This is May's favorite question.
I tweeted something 14 years ago that said something back to Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the
it was
Captain Zutara shit.
He said something about Zutara, and I was like, it's Zutara week, and I was asleep, and I was like, and then I was like, it's Zutara week every week, baby. To this day, I get people coming in, showing me this tweet, wow, okay, and I'm like, you guys, I don't even know, look, I have a political answer for this by now, and I feel really good about this, okay? Zuko is like your first boyfriend, okay? He's wearing a leather jacket, your dad doesn't like him, you're having arguments, you're on the phone all night, he's got a motorcycle, it's great, you never forget it, you'll love it forever, you wouldn't be the same without it. Then you hit your 20s, your late 20s, you're a little tired, you kind of just want to watch TV at 9 and have some dinner and then have a nice conversation with your partner and strategize about the morning and how you're gonna go to the park on the weekend. That's an Aang feeling.
Are you saying you settled for Aang?
No, I'm saying I grow into
course you would settle
Aang. I
for Aang.
mature into being ready for an Aang relationship. Because Aang is it's like a best friend. It's like your partner. You're like, okay, I'm mellowed out. I went through what I went through in order to be here with you. But you're both extremely equally important in my life.
Well
Thank you. So I'm both. I'm both.
Michaela, in Korra, we learned that Toph has 2 daughters. There's a fan theory that Sokka could have... Oh!
That's enough.
There's a fan theory that Sokka could have been Sudian's father. Have you ever talked about that? And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, Jack and I call about it every week.
Oh my God.
Don't tweet about it, apparently.
You don't need
The
to.
novels Michaela and I have written.
Give all the answers. No. Listen, we have lots of new Avatar Studios content coming out. Where the movie next year, Avatar Aang, where we're all grown up. I don't know what's going to occur. I don't know what flirting is going to happen. We've never seen Toph flirt. Well, we saw a version of her attempt to find but I don't know what that looks like. And we do know from everything so far that Suki apparently dies on the younger side. So,
Oh, no.
I don't know. Maybe there's a little friendship consolation moment. I don't know. I just think anything's possible. I'm open. But I also don't know. We very much don't know as much as you don't know. There's not a big Avatar secret group chat. I wish there was. But we're going to find out the information.
I wish there was not.
You guys do whenever all the new content comes out. So we'll see. But hey, it could
my first girlfriend took me to the moon, then my second girlfriend ever to the earth.
I want to talk, speaking of that upcoming Avatar movie, it takes place years after the series. Where do you personally imagine your characters are before the story picks up?
In the spirit world.
That's a fair answer.
Well,
On the couch, having dinner together, right? Sitting down there, watching Netflix, going to the park.
He's a Fire Lord. He has a lot of work to do. Fire Lord.
Yeah.
We're actually in the midst of probably putting together Republic City.
Building the city from
We're building the Republic City.
and not being a good father as
Not to some of your kids. Being a great father to Tenzin, but being a neglectful father to your kids. The non-airbenders are like, I have no time for them.
Yeah, the rest of us are probably relaxing for a second. We're probably tired after
Yeah.
saving the world.
I remember, you're like teaching metal bending to people.
That's true, I had to start a school.
School, you're doing like a whole thing.
Saving the world might have been the easy part, like just chilling on Appa, taking you wherever you go. We had to build a damn city after this. Right.
Sokka, I assume, they don't show any of this in court, but I assume he's developing a space program.
It's a whole other series we can pitch anyway. The live action series has reintroduced these characters through these new younger actors. What is it like seeing them step into the roles you helped define? Or that you did define, actually?
It's so cool being able to see them bring the physicality to it and really embody the characters in ways that we don't as voice actors. You know, we did it in many ways, of course, but I got emotional watching it for the first time because like it was that scene where Gran paraphrases the intro. It's like, oh wow, this is really cool. Seeing it come to life and seeing a new interpretation, a new take on it. And we've had the pleasure of spending some time with the actors, and they're so great. They've done an incredible job. I can't wait for seasons 2 and 3. Hope Gordon, doesn't age out of it. I had that issue too. That's what I know. What it goes through.
Excuse me.
It's a cartoon, eh? His voice is
You hear it in seasons 1 and 3. It's very real. It's very real.
excuse me.
But yeah, it's great. It's like I always think of it as like a quilt. It's like a character is like a quilt, and there's different patches.
How
on
is
the
live
quilt,
action
and it's
series
all kind of like the more
any different from the-
patches, the more
how is live action
interpretations,
from
the
the
more
animated
creative
series?
takes on something that you can bring to a character.
Animated
Just like again speaks to how much these characters and this story inspire people and generations when they're like, I have something I want to contribute to this beautiful woven quilt, and it's like it just feels like an honor to be like a patch on the quilt of like these characters for us,
Yeah, Dallas Lou reached out to me before they started shooting. Like, can we talk? We had some great conversations about Zuko, and he wanted to just get my point of view on playing the character. And I told him he was a kid, he's like 16 or whatever. And I told him, like, look, man, I started it. Dev Patel got to play it. You're playing it now. There's going to be other Zukos. Like, we're a fraternity. We're a fraternity of people that got to play Zuko. And I'm honored that you came to talk to me. And my phone's always open if you want to talk about the character, but it's like, it's your turn. Like, forget what I did. Forget what Dad did. Like, do your thing. I'm like looking forward to it. He's killing it.
I was out with Paul Lee, Iro, and we were out having tea. And this was sometime before, about a year before the series premiere. He said, Greg, I'm worried that fans aren't going to like it because I'm not doing Mako's voice. And I said, Paul, they didn't hire you to do an impression of Mako. They hired me to do an impression of Mako. They hired you to simply play Iro. And they could not have found anyone better. He literally embodies the role. And we were lucky we had dinner with Toph and Iro and Aang. And what I love about Paul, that night he picked up the check. How Iro-esque is that?
Do you guys have a favorite line that fans recite to you when they see you?
Boomerang, you can always come back.
A morning panel, there you go.
For me, it's Flamio Hotman. I remember getting the script for, I think it was episode 1 or 2 of season 3, and just being very confused, and what is Flameo Hotman? I had to get into the booth and ask, and they explained the whole thing to me, and it's very funny, and I didn't realize that it really resonated with so many people, and it's been great. Stay Flame.
I mean, I know that I keep coming back back to the Melon Lord thing, but I feel like it just happens all the time, and now it's just a reference point. Like somebody would be walking by and just be like, Melon Lord! I'm like, hello! So I mean, it's a calling card now. And I mean, this is also why I wear the headband. I see a couple of headbands out here as well.
Nice cosplay.
Yeah, thank you. It's just a nice little...
That's an excellent cosplay of Toph.
Thank you.
Well,
You're
you meet
welcome.
someone, they say hello, and you go, Zuko here.
Well, I love to walk around the conventions in my cosplay. And people
It's
think
also
I'm
an excellent
just
cosplay of
cosplay.
Iroh.
And people will go, this has happened on more than one occasion. They go, man, great cosplay, Iroh on point. Boy, thank you very much. And they go, oh my God! This one guy goes, he's here, he's actually here. And I said, oh, he is closer than you think.
If the gang were dropped into 2025 Chicago, who would thrive and who would be completely lost?
If the show was based in this year.
If you guys were dropped into 2025 Chicago, who would thrive? And who would lost?
I mean, phenomenal food city, so Sokka's doing well.
The questions to imagine
Iroh
and
will be running a
answer.
dispensary.
So much water. Katara's
Not in
obviously
front of the
over there by
kids.
the lake all day, just chilling, practicing, you know.
I feel like I'd just be in like construction and architecture. Yeah. Just helping rebuild things, metal bend things after storms. I don't know. I'd just be probably helping fix things.
Baffled by the beam.
Trying to get the human out of it.
I want a story where I want to see the throwaway episode where the gang tries to get the guy stuck in the bean out. All the downtown aldermen, it doesn't work, and then instead of cactus juice, they drink more.
Tales of the Windy City side.
It's the Windy City, so I guess Aang
Good.
really
So which would be
good.
fine? I guess all of us would be fine. What about you?
I don't know what Zuko's doing in Chicago. Looking for a good slice of pizza.
I think given the history with fire, Chicago doesn't want you around.
Not today, Chicago Fire.
So we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of the show. What has the show taught you about yourself through the process of working on it in the past 20 years?
I mean, it's the classic. Oh, we're gonna go down the line, so you have time to think about it.
Thank you very much.
It always takes too long to answer these questions.
It's sort of what I already talked about, just the strength and vulnerability. I think that's like really special to me. It was like an early lesson. Also something I've commented on before, one lesson, it's like a specific thing, but like for me, that stood out was the Katara like bloodbending episode. I remember recording that and being like, really like, whoa, this is dark, this is intense, but I feel like it was a really special learning point for me in like the sort of danger and futility in trying to control other people. And I remember like having a like aha moment when I was young and being like, wow, this is like a really powerful metaphor and like I understand now. And so I feel like that's something I've carried with me forever is like that. So yeah, there's been individual things and then there's like just kind of overall sense of strength and vulnerability.
I definitely have learned lots of things from Toph. Toph and I are pretty similar. I am pretty stubborn and independent and opinionated. My mother will tell you that a lot of the acting wasn't acting. It was just natural. And so I think as I've gotten older, we watch
Real
Toph
natural.
struggle with this
Michaela Jill
too.
Murphy.
She needs to rely on people. She doesn't have to, but it's better when she does, and she's kind of navigating that. I mean, when Katara's like, hey, be a team player, and she's like, I don't need to be a team player. I carry my own weight. And she's like, that's not how that works. So opening up and like, I don't know, learning that friendships are great and that you do need people around you has been a really good lesson. And also just watching, Zuko's arc, being so bad at being good, great line, great moment. And then, watching Katara kind of grapple with like this severe just anger and like deciding not to like end people's lives. As I've gotten older and kind of grown up with it, I think I just have started taking more lessons from other characters as well. Toph's kind of like, hey, open up to people. It's okay to rely on your friends and need people and need help and ask for help. That's a big lesson. We're still getting better at that one. But
I think the whole thing, it's very easy in this industry, just grown up in life to like know it all and think you know everything and jaded to a certain degree. I didn't know any of this was gonna happen. Like this project, Avatar, Zuko, who he was, who I thought he was at the beginning, who he became at the end. It just teaches me a lesson to, like, first and foremost, give grace to people to change, and myself, also give grace to yourself, and give yourself space to change. Everybody's not set in stone. And then leave room in your life to be surprised, because this is an incredible surprise. I'm so humbled and fortunate to see what this thing we did and what it's become. It's like, wow, there's still more surprises and mysteries in the world ahead for you that you did not. I had no clue that any of this was going to happen.
Well, people sometimes mistake me for being as wise as Uncle Iro, which I am not. I'll be 65 next month, though. And if you look at me, happy early birthday! I clocked your applause. That's how you youngsters talk now. I clocked it. Anyway, if you get to be 65 and you haven't picked up a little wisdom, then you've been doing something wrong. But I am definitely a wiser person because I get to live in this Iro adjacent world where I've been fortunate enough to memorize a lot of his wisest sayings. And time and again, Iro makes everybody a better version of themselves, from Prince Zuko to Iro himself, to millions of fans, and to his second voice actor. And the longer I sort of live in this world, my wife told me that I'm actually starting to embody the role. And not just physically, I think she meant.
Oh, no.
I hope that's what she meant. But very specific.
She meant boiling rock.
That's right.
Walden really let himself go.
There's one particular time where I remember very clearly when Iro's wisdom just sort of hit me like a hammer. We had sold our house in California, moved to New Mexico, where I was born, just to have a chiller life. We arrived in New Mexico 2 weeks later, COVID hit. And I remember I had left and I'd gone out for a walk because I couldn't watch TV anymore. And I was thinking, oh my God, I have a son in Brooklyn and a daughter in Pasadena, and there's no toilet paper, and we're all gonna die, and this is a terrible thing. And I heard some birds singing. And I very clearly thought of the Iro line from Korra, if you look for the light, you will often find it. If you look for the dark, that is all you will ever see. And since then, that quote not only got me through COVID, but when I'm having a bad day, everybody has an Iro line, that's my Iro line. That's the one I come back to when I'm feeling depressed or angry or I'm doom scrolling, which happens a lot these days, and it sort of centers me. So yeah, Iro is undoubtedly, I am a better human being because of Uncle Iro, without a doubt.
I love the Sokka's Master episode, season 3. He's struggling with the imposter syndrome of being like a non-bender among benders, feeling like he doesn't contribute to all these literally magical people in this group. Goes off on his own, and he's learning a skill, but while he's doing that, all the rest of them are noticing everything that Sokka does, everything he contributes. I love that idea of just like, trust that you're bringing something to a team and give it your all, be part of it.
Yeah, that's a good answer. We've all alluded to this at some point, but one of my favorite aspects of the show is that it is relatable for people of all ages. And as I grow up and go through different stages of my life and grow up with this show, like every time you rewatch it, you relate to a different character, and there's a lesson to draw from every single person here. I think specifically with Aang, for me, he's got to hear through all the noise, but at the end of the day, he makes the decision to stay true to himself and knows what he wants to do is the right thing. And I think that's very important. And I try to keep Aang close to me. I've certainly learned a lot from him, and as I grow up, I just want to model my life after him. Except in the Korra father thing, that's a whole.
Well, look, thank you guys so much for joining us today. You guys are incredible. I would suggest you guys meet them at their booths and create your own memories.
Oh, I will.
You guys are all amazing people. So thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, Chicago. You guys are awesome.
Hi. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, Zach.
How's it going?
Good. Hi. I got something very nice to say. I thank you. I'm sure that you know how lucky and fortunate you are to, you know, like to play the lead character of such a big show.
Absolutely,
And you know, even though I'm sure you have, even though I know you have a different job now, you like coming back every now and then
I'm
to
doing what
talk
you do.
about
I'm
Last
holding the
Airbender with
camera
people.
now. So yeah, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Zach.
Have a great time. All right, I'll see you later.
I will.
All right, take it easy.
Hey, what do you do now?
Hi. How are you? Nice shirt.
Hey, what do you do for a living now?
I'm sorry?
What do you do for a living now?
I do camera work, so I'm doing exactly what you're doing.
Well, I want to do it all. You know, I want to do camera work and writing and acting and directing.
All right, well, keep it up. Keep up the good work.
I like being on camera with you.
All right. Nice to meet you. All right, take care.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
I love the Avatar series.
Thank you very much.
If it weren't for Mark Hamill, I probably would have a different opinion.
Well, okay, well, fair enough. I've heard that once or twice.
He's an incredible voice actor.
He really is. I wish I had the opportunity to work with him. I never got to meet him. Maybe one day, and we'll talk
I met him
about it.
last year.
Oh, great, amazing.
Well, you know, I think it's still nice that you get to, at least you get to, it's nice to voice act in the same cartoon as Mark Hamill, in the same episodes as
I mean,
Mark
it's an
Hamill.
absolute honor. Seriously, it really was. Thank you.
Bye, Zach. Have a nice day.
Thank you. He's my father.
What do you mean? What do I mean? The legs
I might not be able to.
Yes, they are. That's all.
Can you give us no, I'm okay.
You're gonna be the best ball.
Thank you. Any of that makes sense?
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be the best ball ever.